The long-awaited battle between Goku and Gohan finally ensues as we get ever so closer nearing the beginning of the Tournament of Power, as Gohan battles against his father for the very first time in many years, as Ultimate Gohan's powers are put to the ultimate test against Super Saiyan Blue Goku, in seeing where Gohan stands and if he can hold his own going into the Ultimate Multiversal Tournament. What's going on, Dragon Ball fans? Welcome to my Dragon Ball Super episode 90 breakdown review entitled See the Wall That Must Be Passed, Goku vs. Gohan, going into next week's exciting episode of Dragon Ball Super episode 91, in which we do have the gathering of the tournament. We have the gathering of each individual universe as we see the universes gather in preparation for the Ultimate Tournament of Power, as we also see Universe 7 come together, and with the previews having to be shown, Frieza is definitely coming back. He is confirmed as seen by Toei's new scan. Frieza is coming back with a halo to participate in the Tournament of Power. So a quick plug before we begin: in case you guys are not following me at Twitter, be sure to go ahead and head over to UnrealEntGaming on Twitter and hit that follow button. That way you guys are always in the loop with all the latest in Dragon Ball news, information, and content. And don't forget to go ahead and subscribe to the channel in case you guys are new for all the latest in Dragon Ball reviews, discussions, mod battles, and more. Tons of awesome content on the channel. And if you guys want to go ahead and keep up with all the latest content, go ahead and turn on notifications if you guys want to become a Super Saiyan God. It greatly means a lot to me that you guys support the channel, and I thank you guys for tuning into the video. Now, Dragon Ball Super episode 91 showcases a very interesting preview in seeing the universes gather together, as we also see some very interesting things happen within Universe 7 as well. But for those who are genuinely wondering, we finally get to see firsthand as to what Frost and Hit are doing, as so far they were not showcased or displayed within the Tournament of Power arc so far, but now for the first time we have ourselves a first glimpse as to what Frost and Hit are doing, and it looks like in some way, shape, or form Frost looks to be in combat against somebody. Either that, and we also get to see rain coming down upon Hit. So either A, the scenario is that Hit is with Frost, or B, they're both in two different locations doing their own thing. But either way, we get to see other universal fighters come together as we see several different characters appear. But I think the overall excitement here is seeing what Frost is going to be doing, because we get to see Frost dressed in some like robe-like outfit, because he's probably doing something sneaky somewhere on a different planet. And either way, we see Hit as well. He's probably performing a couple of missions, and I do think that at some point we're going to be getting the recruitment process of the legendary assassin, so expect to see more of that from Dragon Ball Super episode 91, and which is going to be the gathering leading into episode 92 of Majin Buu having to fall asleep, and last but not least episode 93 of Lord Frieza having to come back to join Team Universe 7 in participating in the Tournament of Power. Now, as for Dragon Ball Super episode 90, the battle between Goku and Gohan had to have been, so far of this recording, the best battle of the universe survival arc. However, there was a flaw in this episode that I've noticed, and that's the idea of Goku having to use Kaioken in order to stop Gohan. I felt as if Kaioken was not needed in order to best up Ultimate Gohan, but regardless of the situation, Ultimate Gohan proved as to why he has courage, as to how strong he has gotten with Piccolo, even confirming by Piccolo that so far their training has been complete, and now he told Gohan that it's best for Gohan to go on ahead and train himself alone, in which as Gohan stepped to Goku in this episode, he had a very different demeanor about him. He had this attitude about him that I think we all wanted to see since day one. It's been 90 episodes since Dragon Ball Super's inception, and until this very point, Gohan has done nothing. In seeing Gohan's demeanor in this episode in a take no prisoners like attitude, I think he definitely brought the firepower against his father, because if you notice the way he challenged Goku, if you notice the way they were fighting as Super Saiyan 2s, as Goku used that form against Gohan momentarily until Gohan tapped into his ultimate power, we saw how Gohan was able to push back base form Goku, and even to an extent Super Saiyan 2 Goku, forcing Goku and using Super Saiyan Blue, which was more than needed, I think, in this battle. But also, I think the biggest wastes of space was Tien Shinhan, and in this episode, Tien had proved as to why he is worthless in this upcoming tournament. He tried to use the Tri-Beam against Piccolo, failed. He tried to combat Piccolo, got stopped by Gohan, failed. There is no need in having Tien in this tournament. You could have easily replaced Tien with other characters. You could have even had future Trunks, if it was willing to be, have him participate in this tournament, but of course they had to replace Buu with Frieza. They should have replaced Tien with Frieza instead of having Tien compete in the Tournament of Power. We saw how easily in this battle against Gohan, he got two-shotted by Gohan, and that was the end of Tien's run. There was a sequence where Tien tried to use the Tri-Beam against Piccolo, in which we saw Gohan stop him. Even as Tien was rushing towards Piccolo, Gohan appeared in front of him, punched him in the gut, hammer striked him down through the mountain, and that was the end of Tien. So Tien is an absolute waste of space. I'm sorry for anyone out there who is a Tien fan, but this episode proved as to why Tien is the biggest waste of space in the Tournament of Power. Even more so Roshi. Roshi was in the distance observing Gohan battle Goku, but at least he has some decency in staying away because Roshi knew that he stood no chance. But however, Gohan, during the time being, he proved to his father as to why he does have that power. But even after Goku was fighting Gohan in his Super Saiyan 2 form, if you paid attention closely, after their beam struggle, Goku kept telling Gohan to use more power, more power, more power, and that's what Gohan did. He kicked Goku in the spine, he shot him in the face, and as he rushed towards his father, Goku realized right then and there that he had to use Super Saiyan Blue, and at that very point, Super Saiyan Blue should have been enough to contest against Gohan. The only problem I had was that Goku's reserve in using Kaioken has been utilized too much in this universe survival arc. We saw Super Saiyan Blue Kaioken be used against Bergamo, Super Saiyan Blue Kaioken be used against Toppo, Super Saiyan Blue Kaioken be used against Gohan. Super Saiyan Blue Kaioken is being overused, which I do think in conclusion it draws its own conclusion that whatever hidden power Goku has is going to far exceed even the Super Saiyan Blue Kaioken powers that he bears now. But even regardless of that, Goku should not have used the Kaioken technique, because as Super Saiyan Blues, we saw how Goku was able to mess up Gohan until he flew up in the air and was taunting and waiting for Gohan to charge at him, in which Gohan did not waste any time. You have to give respect for Gohan because by the end of this episode, Goku had declared Gohan in being the team leader, which signifies Gohan's role even more because now he has more of an important role to play as the team leader of Universe number 7. So if someone gets eliminated, i.e. Goku or Vegeta or someone else, it's going to be up to Gohan to carry the team. So what does this mean? It means that Gohan's position now has been solidified that much more, and now he plays that much more of a bigger role as he's going to be playing the team leader role in trying to help his team win, and if he fails, it's all going to be on him rather than Goku. But we also get to see another waste of space happen as we see the God of Destruction from Universe number 10 pay Gowasu a visit, as Gowasu kept complaining that he didn't have any contenders for Universe number 10, and we see how Ramush introduces these Spartan-like warriors who seem to be driven off drinking protein shakes, and I do think that by the end of the day, one of those fighters is going to be the strongest of the respective team, which you cannot deny. But at the end of the day, similar to Universe 9, I think that this universe is definitely going to be one of the universes that is going to be destroyed in the long run, because as Gowasu was observing these characters, he didn't seem to be impressed in the least, and he did not want to make the same mistake he did before in having someone similar to Zamasu. But either way, this episode solidified Gohan's role as the new team leader in seeing Gohan test his powers against his father, as he was the one that challenged Goku, and even Goku by the end of the episode having to grasp Gohan, having to be happy. We see Gohan as he's in Goku's arms, he is also happy on the idea that he was able to do his best, and the question lingers, is Gohan going to get a significant Zenkai boost going into the Tournament of Power? I think that by the end of it, he's going to go into this tournament relatively more powerful than how he ever was before, even after Piccolo's training, now that he has felt the power of a Super Saiyan Blue Kaioken be felt upon him. So you already know, based on knowledge, once a Saiyan takes lots of damage, they're bound to improve, and Gohan in this episode was pretty much knocked unconscious by Goku, because as Gohan charged at Goku, we saw all it took was several shots and Gohan was down, even to the point where Piccolo was very worried in the fact that Goku was not holding back, in which case he wasn't, even though the argument can be made that Goku technically didn't really go all out because he didn't use Kaioken times 10. Even regardless of that, regular Kaioken was enough, let alone Kaioken times 10. If Kaioken times 10 was utilized, that would have ultimately killed Gohan. So I think that it's best for Goku to use and stay the way he is now as a Super Saiyan Blue. They needed to max out Kaioken in order to show Gohan the type of fighters that he's going to be encountering in this Tournament of Power, but I think the ultimate biggest waste of space and the waste of time is in fact Tien, because Tien did absolutely nothing in this battle. You would originally assume that Tien and Piccolo would have somewhat of an awesome battle, but in fact that turned out to be the opposite. Episode 89 and episode 90 proved just how wasteful Tien is, because in episode 89 he was defeated by a possessed Master Roshi, and in episode 90 he was beat down by Gohan effortlessly. So post your comments down below, guys. What are your overall thoughts on Ultimate Gohan having to grow courage in challenging his father, in being able to step up against Super Saiyan Blue even though he knew that the odds were against him? What are your overall thoughts on Gohan's pacing? He did catch his dad off guard, but also you have to give credit to Goku, because there were certain scenes and certain moments where Goku was able to catch Gohan off guard several times. It was a back and forth fight until the very end when Goku used Kaioken. What are your overall thoughts on the episode preview? Do you guys think that Frost is training with Hit? Based on the very short preview that we have, do you guys believe that Hit is training with Frost? Do you guys believe Frost is doing his own thing? Is this going to be the episode where somebody recruits Hit onto the team? Is it going to be Vados? Is it going to be Kaba? And what are your overall expectations as to seeing the green-haired female, as to seeing the other Universal Fighters? What are your overall thoughts on the Pride Troopers having to get together and being recruited for the Tournament of Power? Thank you all for watching. Once again, guys, tune back in for more. If you guys are Dragon Ball fans, don't forget to subscribe for all the latest Dragon Ball news, information, and updates. If you guys are stoked and ready for Dragon Ball Super episode 91, go on ahead and leave a like on the video. Tune back in for more. The presence of Ultimate Gohan is back, even though against his father he didn't really do much in his Super Saiyan Blue form, but I think that in this tournament Gohan is without a shadow of a doubt going to be bringing the firepower. And now that he's a team leader, does anyone else have any questions or concerns as to what his role is going to be? What if it is all down to Gohan, and Gohan having to utilize his powers in winning the tournament? What if by some chance, hypothetically speaking, what if everyone gets thrown out? Is it going to be up to Gohan now to win the tournament? What do you think that this new role means for him? And what are your overall thoughts on Hit? What are your overall thoughts on Frost? Has Frost been training? Because I do think that Frost up until this point has been doing some kind of training. I made a video prior to this with my friends Devil Artemis and Emish talking about Frieza versus Frost. It's bound to happen because Frieza is coming back, and comparing Ultimate Gohan now to some of the other fighters on the team, who do you guys believe is going to be stronger now between Frieza in his golden form in comparison to Ultimate Gohan? Especially after seeing what Gohan did in this episode, where would you guys place Gohan between 17, Golden Frieza, Vegeta? How would you guys and where would you guys rank Gohan? For me personally, judging based on what we saw in comparison to Golden Frieza and Gohan, I think that Gohan just may be stronger than how Golden Frieza was in ROF. But again, guys, I want to know your thoughts down below of this. And if you paid attention to Vegeta as well, you notice how Vegeta, as he was observing and just noticing this, because everyone felt the powers of Gohan colliding with Goku, Vegeta even smiled to a point where he himself even realized that this fight between Goku and Gohan is finally happening, and the fact that Kakarot's training his son, very similar to how Vegeta was training Trunks when Trunks was there and Goku arrived with Bulma to witness that training, because during that time Goku had never seen Vegeta give Trunks that satisfaction in training him, and now the polar opposite has happened as we saw Vegeta smile, and it was a really awesome sight to see, because now Vegeta knows that Goku is indeed training his son. But let me know your overall thoughts down below, guys. Thank you all for watching. Once again, tune back in for more, and I'll be seeing each and every single one of you guys down in the comment section below. Have a great day, guys. Peace.